Hey guys, Mustang here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today I thought it would be fun, since we've been speculating a lot about the anniversary theme, and the Kamehameha theme has been coming up quite a lot, obviously with the recent data download and the discovery of the fact that we're going to get a Goku story red zone and a Vegeta story red zone. Maybe that theme is in question a little bit now, I don't know, but I thought it'd be fun to just use a Kamehameha team, jump in here against Goku and Frieza, see how we get on. This team is, I'm not saying this is like, you know, the optimal Kamehameha team or anything like that, but I just thought it'd be something that would be fun to use while we jump in and talk a little bit about the upcoming anniversary. So we know that the countdown celebration is going to be starting in the next few days. Very much like the end of this week, right? The 19th is the Sunday, which is when we have a lot of stuff coming into the game. We've got events releasing on the 19th and the 20th, including the Red Zone stages and the new Battlefield. So then basically all of next week will be the countdown celebration, leading us up until the first few days of the week after that, around the 29th, the Wednesday, I think, is when the date that it will officially begin. Right, so I want to make sure that we've got the physical trio in slot 7. Means we don't really have a slot 1 unit for the next turn, which is kind of awkward. I guess we probably just put these two together. So go ahead and do this. Gotenks being on Kamehameha is obviously a huge advantage. He's just a very, very good unit. Works very well in this event. So obviously if we get our defensive proc, of course. If we don't, we can still take some big damage. But if we do, we take double-digit damage. We get hit, gives us a buff, and of course with 24 key we get the guaranteed crits as well. So Gotenks very, very good, of course. Gotenks, you know, going to be absolutely feasting if we get new fusions with the anniversary, because of course he wants a final trump card ally on the team with him, and having characters like Gogeta and Vegeta floating around, obviously going to be very good. And of course, depending on what leader skills they get, whether they get something like final trump card, fused fighters, even Kamehameha, considering the fact that most iterations of the Goku, of Gogeta and Vegeta have the Kamehameha. Not all of them, but most of the iterations of it end up getting it. So I think it's going to work out quite nicely. Typically, these guys got locked in slot 3, and they were who I really wanted to put in slot 1. So I guess we will do this. Just hope that these guys don't take too much. I mean, as long as they don't get supered in slot 1. I mean, they'll probably take a chunk of damage, but they're not going to die. Never mind, they'll just take double-digit damage. Because, of course, this unit, the Tech Goku Vegeta, when they fuse into Gogeta, they can go crazy. It is funny when, like, people talk about fusions, because the community is split a lot of the time. We've talked about this in previous videos and stuff, where people will say, you know, oh, we get so many fusions. We get fusions all the time. But we were talking about it the other day and on the stream, and it's like in the whole of 2024, in terms of like big ticket fusion like releases, we got a Gogeta as one of the 4 anniversary characters. The Super Gogeta that transforms into Blue Gogeta from the Broly movie was, of course, the Part 1 Carnival LR for the 9th anniversary, which, if we go by the JP timeline, that was in February. And then in December, we got Carnival LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. And for a lot of people, when they talk about like the big fusion, like they're really only talking about Gogeta and Vegeta. So even if we don't include Gotenks, we got 1 big fusion release last year, and then obviously 2 if we count Gotenks in December. I think it's just because they are very regularly the headliners for these big celebrations, like worldwide in 2023. We obviously got Vegeta Blue. You know, fusion characters. We've had a lot of fusions recently as well in terms of these LRs, and some of these recent ones that have been getting their EZAs and stuff are characters that have to fuse into Gogeta or Vegeta. So I definitely am hoping for some standalone fusions from the anniversary. But of course, now that we know that the theme is kind of in question, so man, this is a really awkward turn, because I don't really want to float you. I don't want to float off these guys, I don't think. Goku's not great in slot 1. I mean, we do have a movie hero ally on the rotation because Goku is here. So we don't have to worry about them not having their defense or anything like that. So I guess we do this. The physical trio are a unit that have kind of gone down a little bit in my rankings since the worldwide. And I think it's largely because mine are only 55%. So against some of the harder bosses, especially in slot 1, they will be taking damage. Like here, taking 330k from 17 in slot 1 is not really great for them. Obviously, they are providing a huge amount of defensive support to the rest of the team. They tank all the normals, which is fine. But obviously, ideally, we would rather be taking a bit less damage than that. But I suppose we do. Well, that's a good point. We want to lose. We don't want to lose too much health either, because we want to make sure we get the Gogeta fusion. Which I suppose we can throw out the standby here now. Although, again, the orbs on this turn not the best. Okay, let's put the friend one in slot 1. Now, this is obviously the big thing for the Kamehameha team, is the fact that the family Kamehameha, when like fully charged, can obviously do some absolutely crazy damage. So we'll go ahead and do this. I guess we'll do this. Just try and get as much HP back as we can, whilst also getting the orbs. Because of course we do need to do want to try and get the fusion maybe on the next turn. But Gohan, family Kamehameha Gohan, he does need to pick up a certain number of orbs in order to really be able to tank well. He should be okay here, right? Yeah, because we've got type advantage as well, which of course helps, because even though he has guard, of course units have those nodes in the hidden potential where they take less damage from enemies that they have type advantage over. So even with guard, a unit's going to take less damage from a typing that they have type advantage over. Plus, of course, the friend one is rainbow. That's why we put the friend one in slot 1. Obviously, we can't transform both of them anyway, but put him in slot 1. Now we don't have to worry about a super. I'm fairly sure these guys, for the rest of the rotation, will just take double-digit damage. So we should be in a good spot here. But yeah, Kamehameha is a wide overarching theme, as we've said many times. I mean, we've got quite a bunch of different random units on this team, and they all fit under the Kamehameha category. So Kamehameha is a wide umbrella for like a theme of the anniversary. It gives them the option to do fusions. It gives them the option to do Cell versus Gohan, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, like so many different character options, because the Kamehameha is obviously something that has been present throughout the entire series. You know, even a Kid Goku, right, can be under a Kamehameha theme. Kid Goku versus Orochi, or even a Dual Dokkan Fest if it was going to be like themed around that. Kid Goku versus Demon King Piccolo. And the Kamehameha like can fit into so many different characters, which is why it's an interesting choice as like a theme, because it obviously doesn't really, it doesn't like lock in any particular choice, right? Because it's not like we find out the theme of a celebration and then it kind of narrows down and we go, oh, okay, well, the headliner must be this unit then, because that's what would fit. That's the only thing that really fits the theme like well enough, right? Whereas obviously there's quite a few different options when it comes to Kamehameha, so I really don't know what we could expect, which is more fun realistically. So I'm a bit worried about the slot 3 Goku and Vegeta here. Oof. Yeah, Gotenks in slot 1 without the active skill. One's only 55%, so taking a bit of damage here. Does a good bit of damage though. But of course, again, that puts us in a situation where we are not on the best of HP ready for the next turn. Can do a lot of damage here though. I mean, if we get lucky with additionals and crits, should potentially finish these guys off before they get a chance to attack the third year in Goku and Vegeta, because they get, part of their temporary buff is they get guaranteed crits, and they should get a pretty good attack stat on this turn, I think. Obviously, the good thing with having the double Gohan is the full 200% lead for Kamehameha. So, yeah, 8 million on the additional. I mean, you got to think the anniversary banners are going to be so good for the fact that we're going to be able to finally get extra copies of the physical trio, Broly. Oh, they're going to die now, aren't they? Well, they get extra damage reduction against the super, but they took 65k from a normal. 1.5 mil. Okay. Well, there we go. Let's jump back in here. Okay, so we're back to the Frieza and 17 phase. I swapped out the Int Vegito for physical Goten and Trunks. So obviously they need a full Kamehameha team to be at their best anyway, or at least a full Kamehameha rotation to have their full stats and everything active. So I thought we would try them out. They've been doing pretty well so far, doing some big damage. We've got Gohan in the standby already, because with this team and the amount of damage that we can do, we should be able to kill Frieza and 17 in 2 turns, and then that just gives us the family Kamehameha ready to go against Goku and Frieza, which is something that is going to make a big deal. Like, you know, it's going to be something very interesting in the anniversary content. Now, obviously, I'm assuming the way that they're going to do the banners for part 1 is that the part 1 anniversary and worldwide characters will then be on the part 1 banners, right? Because assuming it's going to be a Dokkan Fest X Carnival format again, then you would assume that means that part 1 banners will, the Dokkan Fest banner will have the physical trio and Broly, and then the Carnival banner will have Gogeta and Tech Broly. But obviously that means we have to wait till part 2 to be able to get more copies of Family Kamehameha Gohan. But usually when the anniversary content is coming out, whatever ends up being the hardest stage isn't out until near the end anyway. So it's going to be very interesting to see how dominant like a Gohan with dupes, like firing off that fully powered Family Kamehameha, can still be against whatever the end of the anniversary throws at us in terms of difficult content. We didn't do as much damage as I thought. I mean, the funny thing is, if we get to the next turn and we're still in this phase, we just kill them with the Family Kamehameha, and then the other Gohan can still use his one. Although that does put us in a bit of an awkward spot for potentially the final phase, because obviously Family Kamehameha Gohan in his standby, probably not going to be the best at tanking in slot 1, but confused with Gogeta here, so we can see where the super attack is. Oh, the super attack's in the middle. I don't think I want to... I don't want to risk Goten and Trunks taking that, really. Maybe I should just do this. We're still charging up the... Family Kamehameha, so I do want to get as many orbs as possible. Just do that. I mean, we should do some big damage this turn, right? Gotenks, guaranteed crits, getting at least 2 supers. Then we've got Gogeta, and then Goten and Trunks are no slouch with damage themselves either in the last slot here. So I think we should kill him this turn, right? Let's see. Gotenks going to do a decent chunk of damage there as well. And then what's Gogeta got for us here? 23.6. And he's effective against all types anyway, so it's a little bit of bonus damage on top. Nice. There's the crit. There's the additional. I was going to say, there's the reason that he's actually on the category, is now we can actually do the Kamehameha. I love that he has that as a super attack animation. I've always really liked it. I mean, when he first came out, people really didn't like the animation on it, but I've always thought it was pretty cool. So we should eat this. Yeah, 150k. I mean, I'll take it. And then 22.5. Is that going to be enough? Get a crit here? Yeah, there we go. Love to see that. All right, so this gives us a very interesting setup here. Oh, please be the first attack of the turn. Oh, they're attacking like 3 times. This would have been so perfect for using the standby for Dragon Fist Goku. Bruh. Alright, well, I think what we have to do here first then, because there's not a lot of orbs. So if I transform this Gohan after we fire the Kamehameha and then put him in slot 1, I don't know if he tanks it, because mine's only 55%. I'm only going to be able to get 6 orbs. And then we'd run the risk of, if we put Dragon Fist Goku in slot 1, he's got to dodge 2 normal attacks. It's a 50% chance. Otherwise he gets crushed by the normal attacks and then doesn't get to counter the super. Well, either way, let's go ahead and fire this off. So, friend Gohan, got most of our links active, 104 orbs, and of course all the Dragon Balls. So yeah, let's go ahead and fire this off. I'm still so glad, like, I wish they had the bit with Gohan, like, Goten running up and, like, starting the Kamehameha with Gohan as part of the fully charged one. Because it's a shame that it's part of the not fully charged one, but then they don't put them all together for this. But I do love this, like, always been a big fan of the Family Kamehameha. I wanted a new one ever since we got the Go Bros with this proper, like, side-on view where the screen's all blue, like from the movie. Just that, so good. And then, yeah, this does big damage. The Rainbow Friend, yeah, 66.5 million. That's pretty good. But now the question is, how do we finish off the phase? Do we trust Dragon Fist Goku? Do we try for the standby with Gohan? I really don't know how much damage he would take. It's probably more than I want it to be. I mean, I didn't realise you could use both of their standbys at the same time. I shouldn't have done this. I should have turned the animations back off. The fact that you can do both their animations at the same time, standbys, because they are different types. Gohan's is like the charge up one, and then Goku's is just the counter type. I wonder if that is his classified as like the same as like the GT trio one, GT duo, where they get the revival, because it's not a revival, but it is like a reactive one rather than like a charging one. Because yeah, he gets, what is it? It's 50% when receiving an attack per key sphere obtained. He does have 77% damage reduction, to be fair. So 6 orbs is giving him, what, another 300%. So that's putting him to, which, to be fair, 300% is only another 180k. So that puts him to about 240. Frieza, because it's technically their first turn, so they don't have their below 50% buff. So their super attack does 2.8 million. So if we take off 77%, we're talking like 644k. And then he's going to have, what did I say? About 200 odd k defense. So he's still going to take about 400k from their super. I mean, if we're on full health, we should still live, but let's see. See what happens with 55% Gohan. If we die, we die, then at least we know. And like I say, I'll be looking forward to getting more copies of him when we get the anniversary banners. But we can get a little bit more HP off of those STR orbs. As long as the super doesn't do 600k, then we should be fine. Right, because it's the 77% damage reduction that does most of the heavy lifting. But let's see what we get here. It's not going to do 600k, is it? 139. Well, there you go. That's not bad. 55%. We only got 6 orbs, which realistically is not great for a turn where we're going to get... I don't know how it's so far off. 2.8 million minus 77% is 644k. I guess... Oh, he has guard as well, doesn't he? Of course. Yeah, I didn't factor in the guard as well. So, yeah, obviously even 55% family cards. It's only the turns where you get really screwed over by the orb field and you can only pick up like 2 orbs and then he kind of gets crushed. But, yeah, that was pretty good. Is Dragon Fist Goku going to have enough juice to finish them off here? 12.6. I think he might not, you know. We're not out of the woods yet. Oh, good. 0 damage. Love to see that. We got the Gotenks active skill, I guess, but how much damage is that going to do? They're attacking as the first attack of the turn, but let's see. Does Gotenks finish them off with the active skill here? Otherwise, we're relying on his... Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, he still has... How much damage reduction does he have at this point? He loses... after the first couple of turns, he loses the... I keep clicking on the wrong thing. He loses that 22%. He's still got 33%. But of course, you got to remember now that they've started the turn below 50% HP, they get double the attack power. So that means we're taking, like, their super attack does like over 5.5 million damage. So basically, Gotenks dies unless he gets that defense proc. And unfortunately, anyone on the team essentially dies unless, well, unless they dodge or, yeah, just like don't actually take the hit. So obviously, we're just going to have to rely on the Gotenks RNG. 50% chance. Is he going to get it? If he doesn't, we die. If he does, we win. We'll leave it at that either way. But yeah, the Kamehameha team is still very strong, very well poised going into the anniversary. We got the proc, so we are all good. And then Gotenks is going to finish them off here. So we will see what happens when it comes to the anniversary. Whether it is Kamehameha themed or not, it's very likely that the characters we get will still be on the Kamehameha category. So obviously this category still has a bright future, still very powerful. It's always going to get buffs because, as we said earlier in the video, so many characters fall under that category. It's something that is just going to keep going from strength to strength. I do think with Gohan as the 200% lead, it's a little bit wonky because I think ideally you only really want one of him on the team. But obviously, if we get a new leader that is 170 to Kamehameha and then 30% to a couple of other strong categories, then, you know, that team composition will still be very good for a long time. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section in terms of the Kamehameha team. Is it one of the strongest teams in the game? Do you want to see it as the theme of the anniversary? Do you think it is still the theme, or do you think now there is a chance it's going to be something else? Let me know all your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ninja. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.